These bullets from Barry's are great for 45 ACP, and that's what we're going to cover in this video. Gavin Gu here from UltimateReloader.com. We're back with Kyle Shields. Thank you, Kyle, for joining us yet again.
Yes.
This video really is a part of a series. We'll talk about the other videos in just a moment. The highlight here is Barry's 185 grain hollow base round nose bullets. These guys have got that hollow base. The obturation is an advantage of this design, conforms to the rifling a little bit better, and that can enhance the accuracy. The other thing about Barry's, of course, is plated bullets are more economical than copper jacketed bullets, and they can have a lot of the same benefits. A lot of volume shooters and even competitors use them.
Great for practice. Yeah. Definitely.
Absolutely. So the 185 is a little bit lighter. So if you're looking for something a little bit lighter recoiling, maybe for quicker follow-up shots or just for the pleasant shooting nature of it, this would be a good counterpoint to that normal 230 that you'd find on the upper end of the weight spectrum for 45 ACP. And that is what these are for. 45 ACP, it's got that round nose. You know it's going to feed really well. Unless you're using this for a defensive situation, the round nose is going to be absolutely awesome. Bullet OAL is 0.586 of an inch. We've got a taper or roll crimp capability. Now, special note here, I went on an in-depth exploration of plated bullets in another video that you're going to want to check out. And one of the big takeaways there is to not over crimp, because if you break the plating all the way around, the bullet plating can kind of fly apart in the barrel, and that can definitely degrade accuracy and potentially cause barrel fouling problems, that sort of thing. So use the crimp that you want. Just make sure that you're not overdoing it. Max velocity on this is 1250, and you know our loads were under 800, so yeah. Totally not a problem for 45 ACP. What's great about low velocities? They're subsonic, and that's great when you've got a suppressor. I was going to do suppressed shooting for this story with the 1911, but we had an issue with an O-ring in the piston, so we'll have to save that as a follow-up. I also want to throw this pistol on the ransom rest and see what kind of accuracy we can get. That particular ransom rest is not currently in action, so we got to do some facilities improvement and get that in order. Let's talk about the load we used for this story and for the other stories for that matter. You want to walk us through this?
Yeah, so I went to Hodgdon's website to get some load data and found out for CFE-Pistol that we would start in between 5.5 or 6.3. So I figured 5.9 would be a good place to start, and that's what we stuck with. And for overall length, just seated to factory at 1.235, checked it with the gauge, everything was good to go.
Yep, new brass Winchester WLP primer, which if I remember correctly is for standard and magnum loads. I stocked up on a bunch of those back when I was shooting 44 mag and 45 ACP and kind of everything in between.
It is, yeah. When we had to load more primers in here, it was these Winchesters. So yeah, it's for both. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so equipment overview. So that, like I mentioned, this is a part of a multi-video series. We had some double alpha gear that we enhanced our XL-750 with, and then Kyle and I had kind of a jam session loading on the XL-750. Kyle's new to progressive presses, so I thought this would be one of the great projects to get you kind of up and running with that. And this press was 100% with this particular load and runs 45 ACP, super smooth. The guns functioned 100%. The 1911 and the Glock, kind of a nice two-up test scenario to do the Glock, and of course the 1911 is what you think of first, probably when you think of 45 ACP, right?
I definitely do.
That may be a Tommy gun, right?
True.
So you're going to want to check out the video on the XL-750 jam session, and also the DAA upgrades, including the click knob for the powder measure. Really good stuff. Oh, we also threw a KMS squared UFO press light on the 750. We were reloading in the dark, and we thought we kind of need to take care of this right now.
Why not? Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so then we took both of these out and chronoed, and one thing to note is the 1911's barrel is about an inch longer. So you can see that here in the velocities, right? We had 791 feet per second average for the 1911 and 759. So that's actually 32 feet per second. different for an inch in barrel length. So that's an interesting thing to take into account. I actually have threaded barrels for both. This Glock is a police trade-in, this Glock 21, and it's going to be a part of a project where I do some Cerakote and some other cool stuff, including a red dot install. So stay tuned for that. And then I think we'll do both suppressed, and this would be a great load, I think, to bring back out and to use for that. So we had under 20 feet per second standard deviation on both. The ES was a little bit higher on the 1911. I think for the kind of shooting that we're doing here, this is absolutely awesome. So we're going to cut away to some fun that Kyle and I had shooting. Slight friendly competition. Let's see how that went. Okay, here's what I'm thinking, Kyle. We've got the 1911, which is a limiting factor here with magazine capacity, right?
Right.
And that's 8 rounds for these particular mags. So why don't we load up 8 in the 1911, 8 in the Glock, and we'll go 2, 4, 6, 8, and we'll just kind of see how we do for time and hit.
Okay.
Hit count, and then we'll also maybe share some insights after to see kind of what we think of each gun. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. One on that one. None on that. I wonder if that was because I had just shot the Glock up there at the Chrono station. Ready?
Ready.
One miss.
Nice, not bad.
Your turn.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right, here goes nothing. Nope.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
2 out of 2.
Nice. Nothing.
Glock time, huh?
Yeah. Okay, so we'll see how we do with the Glock here.
That was hilarious.
Oh, man.
You missed the close target twice, and then you hit the one I couldn't hit twice in a row.
All right, let's try this guy. Nope. Way low. Not quite.
Definitely favor the 1911, huh?
Yeah, that would make sense from my experience.
Nice.
Small hands, but still like the full frame of a 1911.
Quail.
Hey.
Mega quail pile. So that was fun. It's always fun to go out and shoot. You know, when you have your own shooting range right on site, why not do it every day, right?
Right, absolutely. It was awesome.
And I think you have a preference for the 1911. Is that fair to say?
I do, yeah. I do. I don't know why. I just shoot the 1911s a little bit better. It's probably due to practice, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I need practice all around with pistol, honestly. But hey, it seems like I tend to like that one a little bit more. But they're both really good, really.
Yeah.
I was surprised with the Glock how well it handled for me, considering how big it is for my small hands. So
yeah. Well, it's kind of funny, you know, after handling the 1911, which is a solid chunk of steel in your hand, and has that straight back trigger, you know, just classic ergonomics. I really like the Hogue overmolded rubber grip with the finger grooves, you know. Picking up the Glock, it's just, it reminds me of like a Volvo 240 for any of you that remember the big box, you know. It's just like Tupperware, chunky, but, you know, I love Glocks because it's kind of the industry standard. You know, there's so much aftermarket. I can typically shoot them pretty well. A lot of people don't like the grip angle. I do. So, you know, it's a matter of personal preference. In this house, we have room for both, right? We're accepting of both of these different pistol form factors for 45 ACP. I would love to hear, drop a comment if you want to share what your favorite 45 ACP handgun is and what you're using it for. Okay, so what do we do here on Ultimate Reloader? We're about nerding out with data, and this project was no exception. So I had Kyle do some measurements for weight consistency and diameter consistency. And the results were pretty shocking for plated bullets, I would say.
They were. I was actually surprised on that. Yeah, really good.
We were 0.2 grains off on our average weight, but more important than that is the consistency of the weight. Standard deviation was 0.136 grains. Extreme spread under a half grain. Really good results. But even more impressive than that was the diameter consistency. 451.2 thousandths of an inch, right where we want to be on the actual diameter number, but the consistency, the precision, there was an SD of 1/10,000th of an inch and an extreme spread of 3/10,000ths of an inch. That is super good for plated bullets.
I was shocked at that one. Yeah.
And when you look at them, I mean, they look like jacketed bullets. They're incredibly smooth. The profile is very, very consistent and appealing to the eye.
They are. Of course, they're very photogenic.
Yeah, photogenic. That's a good way to put it. So at the end of the day, Barry's is great because they're good about keeping things in stock. Their bullets have great designs, great quality, and they're definitely a lot more affordable than your copper jacketed counterparts.
Yeah, that's first Barry's bullets I used was in my 30-30, the 150s. So
those are great.
They are, and haven't even done any crazy development on it. I think I loaded up some middle of the charge road and just rolled with it ever since. Never chronoed it or anything. Real basic, but it shoots wonderfully. So
okay, so a couple follow-up things. Important. This is homework for you. Okay. You ready?
All right.
First, we got to load a whole bunch of this 45 ACP with these 185s. This stuff is really good. Runs great in the guns. And we need a lot more ammo on the shelves. Okay, second is a question for you all for Kyle. Kyle's going to be diving deep into these progressive presses. You know, which presses do you want to see him load on? And specifically, what cartridges do you want to see him load? And if there's any other data you want to throw at us for powders or specific bullets, drop a comment and let us know. Like I said, you're going to want to check out the rest of the videos in this series, loading these bullets with this load data on the XL-750. Really fun stuff. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. If you're interested in custom rifles like what we build here on the channel or gunsmithing services, you're going to want to go to rifles.ultimatereloader.com and get on the wait list. If you want to learn lucrative gunsmithing like what I show here on the channel, including building custom rifles and Cerakote plus a whole bunch more, you're going to want to check out the Colorado School of Trades, schooloftrades.edu. Thanks again for watching.